about to go. YouTube is on. Hello, Mr. Taylor. And Twitch. Yes, watch now. Absolutely. So why am I not seeing anything on Twitch? It says it's live, but nothing's happening. Okay. That's weird. Alright, says everything's connected over here. Why is this not loading? Alright, Twitch is working now. That was odd. Alright. We're almost ready to go here. Looks like we got a bit of a silent. There are not too many people on yet anyway. A few things we're going to be doing. I don't know. This is going to be an interesting stream, perhaps. Maybe just for me, because I'm so freaking dead tired right now. It's been a hell of a week. So, what are we going to be doing today? The first thing we're going to do, start with the usual reaction. We're going to be watching something called Why Fast Players Troll You About Building Speed. Now, some people think I am fast. So, perhaps I fall into this category of trolling people. I don't know. We're going to find out. Hey, we do got 5 years right now. All right, good. After this, there's a few other things that I'm going to be opening up my work email today, which is something I just never do on Fridays because I don't see any students. It's kind of a day off, but not really because of the stream. Anyway, so we're also going to be looking at, somebody asked a question about Kirk Hammett's picking pattern in part of Creeping Death solo. Max, good to see you on. And then, what the heck else was there? Oh, right. Another student who was also on stream before mentioned a video he found interesting about the most evil or just an evil metal scale. So we're just going to watch that and give some thoughts on that. I feel like I'm missing something. But anyway, those are the three main things we're going to be focusing on at first. Watching this, Why Fast Players Troll You About Building Speed. Then we're going to look into this Kirk Hammett solo question. And then watch the video on an evil metal scale. And then most likely get back into another video and react to that thing. And of course, answer any of them questions and comments that come along the way. Always welcome, anytime. And yeah. So, let's check. Well, I think the volume is okay. I just listened to it a second ago. But as always, if you hear anything... Actually, let me unplug these headphones. Because these headphones, I believe, are the cause of those radio signals from the truckers in the area coming through. Because when I was recording something yesterday with the headphones on, I heard it again. Alright. Oh! Yes! Thank you. It's even in here. Thank you. That is the thing I was forgetting. The frickin' technique thing. Okay, right, because I actually got my first... what the hell's it called? Super thanks. Somebody commented on one of the YouTube shorts and sent me $9.99 as a super thanks to go over this guy's technique. Thank you. Man, I'm glad you said that. Well, I told you I'm tired. This is, yeah, we'll see how this goes. All right, let's see if I can be articulate enough to go through this stuff here. Probably not. All right, so the channel is called How to Practice Guitar. I have watched some stuff by him before. Yes, he is a good guitar player. Yes, his channel is way bigger than mine. He's doing much better than I am. But let's see. When somebody has a video with controversial titles such as this, Why Fast Players Troll You About Building Speed. Well, damn it, I want to know, because, well, I teach people how to get faster. Let's see if we agree, and talk about things we don't agree. Talk about things we do agree with as well. All right, let's get to it. And let's move me down here.
When you first get into the world of technical guitar playing and you start looking for ways to build your guitar speed, it seems like no matter what guitar teacher you ask or what great player you listen to in their instructional videos, they always give you the same tried conventional advice that goes something like this.
I'd say, really any fast technique, you want to start slow and very perfect.
I usually do it slow and work out what I have to do, and then work up the speed until, it feels cool.
The basic concept is you start with a slow tempo on the metronome, play the exercise or example until you've mastered it at that tempo, and then increase the metronome.
And this advice seems to make all the logical sense in the world. I mean, if you start slow and perfect, how in the world can you ever screw this up? And to be fair, if you've never tried just slowing down, figuring out what you're doing, and cleaning up mistakes, of course you're going to get a little bit faster and a little bit better from doing that. But before you know it, you realize that there are a lot of gaps in this advice, and there are a lot of things that you're pretty unclear about, like what tempo do you start at? What tempo is slow? How much do you increase your speed? Not to mention, let's be honest, just doing a lot of slow practice is pretty damn boring. But if you stick with it, if you keep practicing, eventually you will discover that there's a whole other school of thought about building speed. And it all seems to have started from this Sean Lane video.
What I did and what I would suggest people is to just fracture the process. When you get a little faster, and then just totally break with the continuum and jump up into some speed that you can't play at all. Just go for it. It might be completely sloppy, but then you try to clean it up over time. It's a little different mental and physical process, rather than going from one mental process of playing it slow and getting it gradually faster. You approach it from the way of playing it fast but sloppy and gradually learn to clean it up.
And come on, let's be real. Who the hell has ever played guitar faster than Sean Lane?
Okay, well, there's all kinds of stuff to talk about here, isn't there? Deaf World. Also, your name is Salvador. I don't think I ever knew that. Hi, Salvador. Yeah, this guy does talk pretty fast, doesn't he? So, I know there's... I don't know. Yeah. Well, if you know me, you know I am a big believer in what Petrucci said in this video, the clip there, what Paul Gilbert said, and I think his name Michael Romeo, or was it Romeo? I don't know. Yeah, start slow and work it up. What Sean Lane talked about is just going for it, and then eventually kind of like try and clean it up. I've seen that work kind of with some people. It can be like, my experience is that if you're stuck at a certain speed, sometimes it's okay to just go for it at a speed you can't do, and yes, slop through it. And the reason for that, I think, this is total bro science, by the way, bro science being a gym term. Like, I have no scientific studies or anything to back this up. But my assumption is, if you try and play something that is beyond what you can do, say like 20 beats per minute faster than you can actually play, it can, like, my guess is, like, it tells your nervous system, like, hey, this is what I'm trying to move at. I'm trying to move this fast. So you do it a few times, you kind of get like a sense of what it might be like, but then you end up having to work the thing up anyway. This guy talked about, like, well, the explanation of start slow, work it up doesn't answer the question of how slow do you start. The answer is 60 beats per minute. And how fast do you increase the metronome? It's no more than 5. That's my answer anyway. Yeah, and what subdivision to use, that, well, depends on a few things, which will take more than a very short answer, but yes, starting slow and working it up. I mean, if it worked for Paul Gilbert, if it worked for Michael Romeo, if it worked for John Petrucci, it works. It works. It works. That's why we keep telling people to do it. Most people don't do it right when they say it doesn't work. Well, Salvador, good to finally meet you. A kiss. Hey, you're the dude who gave me that super thanks. Thank you very much for that. So yeah, we're going to be going over the technique stuff there too. It's kind of go in order. And thanks to Mr. Taylor in here for reminding me that was one of the things. God, my brain is just shot to shit today. It's been a long week. I'm tired. Anyway, so, and yeah, Sean Lane talking about like just kind of going for a speed you can't do and playing sloppy and then cleaning it up. Concerns I have with that, most people are, well, they're not Sean Lane. But then you can say, like, well, you said these other guys worked it up and it worked for them, so then it works for people, right? Okay, fair enough argument there. I don't see it working very well with people I work with one-on-one, who they just try and slop it at fast speeds, and then they just play sloppy, and then they continue to play sloppy. At some point, something needs to be brought down to a speed you can play it well enough, and then push it further. So I can see the just going for it. I even have a video up on that, like using like the idea of cheat reps, but with guitar, with shred guitar, is kind of bullshit your way through a take just to kind of start, hearing the metronome go faster, trying to line it up, and knowing that you can't, just to kind of get the idea of like, this is what I'm trying to do. Come on, brain, put the pieces together and let's get to it. But I don't think it's a good idea for most people to do those things most of the time. I think it should be done very sparingly, unless you find that you have great success with that method. If you do, then you do. I can't argue with that. Triads. Is that like a play on words for triad chords? Hello. Good to see you. Do we know each other in real life? I don't know. You know my name. Anyway, let's continue on here.
He may have well been the fastest guitar player to ever pick up the instrument. And from there, it seems like you got a whole camp of contrarian guitar teachers who basically say the same things. Like, oh, slow practice doesn't work. You're not going to become a sprinter by walking faster or walking better. You got to push yourself. You got to start with speed and that kind of thing.
Okay. I know I'm kind of like speaking as we go, but that's how these reaction things go, right? Yes, there are people out there that say starting off slow doesn't work. I don't agree with that. Yeah, you do have to push yourself. Yes, you have to push yourself. You can't be better than what you are today if you don't push yourself to be better tomorrow. Yes, you have to push yourself. I'm trying to swear less. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you push yourself? You have to. You want to be faster and better than what you are right now, you have to push yourself. Period. You don't grow when you're comfortable.
And then my favorite one, slow practice doesn't work because your motions change when you go from slow tempos to fast tempos. Wow, talk about overcorrecting.
So I don't know where he's going to go with it, but it sounds like, I have a feeling he and I are going to agree on this one. Yes, so your mechanics change, mainly your picking mechanics change when you go from slow to medium to fast to, like, say, sprinting type stuff. And I've often talked about how, like, I have my walking speed, jogging, running, and then, like, sprinting type speed, right? Or even just, like, running. So walk, jog, run type speeds when I'm playing fast or working up to being fast. Just because your mechanics change when going from slow to medium to fast tempos doesn't mean starting off slow doesn't work. Remember, you're not just training yourself to go faster. You're training to make sure that everything is synced up well and you can hear everything well. That's the big thing I think a lot of people miss. Because one of the biggest issues I've come across with students, which is why I began being so rhythmic focused and teaching all kinds of different rhythms to people. If you can't hear that metronome clicking that fast and being able to, like, sync up or divide the notes up, or God, I told you I can't talk today. if you're hearing the metronome click really fast, but you can't even do quarter notes with that, how in the hell can you expect to do eighth notes or 16th notes and triplets and all that stuff? You can't. You won't be able to. So the thing I was noticing is people would think they were playing at a specific speed or faster speeds, and when I would listen to my students play it, like they weren't even close to it. That metronome was doing its thing, and then they were just playing along while the metronome clicked. So that's a big reason why people aren't able to hit certain speeds. They might be able to move fast, but when you put it to a click, then it's a mess. So that's one of the big benefits of starting slow and gradually working it up, because you're training your ear to hear everything. It's no different from training to failure for maximum muscle gains. For the most part, although training to failure is not always necessary. That's in the literature now. Anyway, we're not going to get into that. We'll let Dr. Mike Israetel over at Renaissance Periodization discuss that one. He's a funny man.
Let's think through each one of these points, shall we? When people say things like slow practice doesn't work, or fast practice works, or fast practice doesn't work, what's one very glaring problem that should spring to mind immediately?
I want to get to this question that just popped up on YouTube. So, but the mechanics don't change abruptly, do they? No. I don't think they change abruptly. And that's another great thing about working things up slow. It gives you a chance to become more aware of what happens as you go from one threshold to another. So as I'm going faster, I know I got a video out there talking about it, but anyway, we're talking about it now. Let's demonstrate. In fact, let's get the metronome on too. I think it's a good time for that. Hey, it's up. Good. So, oops. Let's check the volume on this guy. Okay. So, I don't know. Do I want to do a full thing here? Full thing meaning like, what trick should I do? Should I do something like that, or why not? I'll just work that up. Just kind of let's observe what happens as I am, going faster. I feel that's a short enough phrase to do. Alright, so I played that correctly once. Let's continue on. Yeah. So I'm just going to go up fives, and this is what I tell everyone to do. Go up in fives. Yes, I am doing 6 notes a click, which I don't think most people should start with, unless you can get up to at least 120 first. Or your first practice session. So notice, watch what my right hand's doing when I'm playing at this speed. So there's a lot of thumb movement going on right now. I feel like the thumb movement's decreased a little bit. It's kind of tightened up some. Maybe a bit more wrist is starting to kick in. So the faster I go, the bigger muscles turn on to push those faster speeds. accenting the first note of every new string on purpose? Not on purpose, no. It just kind of happens. So I'm feeling like my arms went to help out a bit more. Definitely not all thumb movement at all anymore. I mean, there's still a little bit, but not like it was at the beginning. Yeah, so like I'm starting to have to use, you know, this guy. Gotta use the elbow at this speed to help push things a little bit further. And now we're at a speed that's getting pretty goddamn hard. Oof. So there's definitely a lot more arm stuff going on at this point. Alright, I like that last one. You see there at that speed, there's a lot more arm stuff going on there. Now, playing this one, this specific pattern, I'm not going to, like, this is already getting to be too much for me. If I just do something like this, that's a lot easier for me to change strings. So kind of watch what happens as I go faster here. Tired over here. Ow. Alright, that's enough of that. Thank you, Deaf World. Thank you, Salvador. Excuse me. Yep. Yeah, so, exactly. It is a gradual change. So, if you avoid doing like the gradual build-up there, then you miss out on all those in-between speeds, like maybe, you know, between slow and fast. Because like there's always like these awkward moments, awkward speeds where your picking mechanics start to change a bit, start to become a blend of stuff, and then it feels kind of awkward to hit certain speeds. Like, because sometimes you can play a faster speed on a lick or riff more easily than if you do it slightly slower, because that means, and for me, I think that what that means is you're trying to play with some mechanics, like picking mechanics, that feel really weird. It's like almost that next level of motion, but not quite. So if you want to be able to play as many things as you possibly can, avoiding those awkward speeds is not doing you any good. Chad, good to see you on. It's been a while. Hope you're doing okay. I can call you DW or Sal for short. Up to you. D-Dub. Do you think practicing in short bursts is more effective when starting out with this stuff or long constant playing? Depends on what your goal is. If your goal is to build as much speed as possible, first clear your throat a bunch. God damn it. glad I have cough drops here. If you're trying to go as fast as you possibly can and just reach, super speeds, yeah, short bursts for sure. Because then it is like doing sprinting type stuff. Because you can't sprint for a very long time. So nobody can play their maximum speeds for very long periods of time. It just can't happen. But if you want to play, if you want to push your endurance, then, longer passages are beneficial for that. And there's always a mix of things. I like to think that the faster you play, the greater the chance of being able to play for a long period of time. And then the longer you can play, the greater chance you have of playing fast for short periods of time. Well, good. Glad you liked the course. Very much appreciated. Glad you would recommend it there. Good. It's doing its job. Okay. So now that we've taken a look at how my mechanics change, let's continue listening to what... I don't know what this guy's name is. But the channel is How to Practice Guitar. Okay, let's turn the metronome off for now. Get back here. I think I need to rewind for a second.
Point, shall we? When people say things like slow practice doesn't work, or fast practice works, or fast practice doesn't work, what's one very glaring problem that should spring to mind immediately? Any guesses? Well, I'll give you a hint. What the hell does slow mean? What is fast? Is there some tempo line that divides slow from fast? Like if you're below that line, you're slow. If you're above by even 1 BPM, you're fast? I'll wait. Can anybody define these terms for me? Comment below. Unless you can define with clarity what slow means and what fast means, which you can't because it's all relative, you also can't make the claim that slow practice doesn't work or works, or fast practice doesn't work or works. However, even I've made videos in the past about the dangers of excessive slow practice and how slow practice could be killing your gains. But notice the words excessive and could. That's because while there's no way to define what slow and fast mean for every guitar player in the world, there is a way to find, for you specifically, what tempo is too slow, what tempo is not slow enough, and what tempo is just right. And the answer to that question depends 100% on what element of speed you're focusing on in that moment. If you're focusing on your picking hand, let's say, your picking hand may have its own range of fast and slow tempos, your fretting hand may have its own range of fast and slow tempos that are different, synchronization may have its own range of fast and slow tempos, and so on. And depending on what exactly you're focusing on, what challenges you have, what bad habits you're trying to do, all that sort of a thing, that determines what exact tempo you need to practice. There's no fast or slow in that sense. There's just what is the goal and what's the appropriate tempo for tackling that goal. So because of this, because there's no definition for the word slow and no definition for the word fast, and because building speed isn't just about one thing, it's impossible to make one blanket statement like, oh, slow practice doesn't work, or fast practice doesn't work, or you always gotta go slow, you always gotta go fast, because these terms mean nothing. Even Al Capone agrees with me.
Nothing. Nothing.
Okay, now let's talk about the...
Fair points. I can't argue with that. Plastodon, hello. Like I missed saying hello to you earlier. Sorry about that. This is a fair point. What is slow? What is fast? I'll say what fast is. I'm taking this from Troy Grady, a poll he basically did on his website, along with just researching what is the typical speed for, shred guitar playing. The answer is 180 beats PM, 16th notes. That's fast. That's fast. Now, fast for you can absolutely be different. But in terms of what's like, standard fast playing, 16th notes at 180. We can say 180 to 200. Why not? If you're playing 16th notes past 200 beats per minute, you're playing very fast. So, there. I gave an objective response. But, anyway. Yeah. And if you're going to play 20 notes per second, you're at the top. Easily at the top, I'd say. If you can only play 1 note per second, you're slow. You're slow. Anyway.
claim claim that cracks me up the most, and that is, you're not going to become a sprinter by walking better or walking faster. So by that logic, as those teachers say, you're not going to become a fast player by doing a whole bunch of slow practice. You got to start at a fast speed far beyond what you can normally do, and then clean it up at that speed, get the motions going fast, and work your way back down. Well, guitar teachers all over the world, I got a suggestion. Let's, think. The problem with this logic is that it's a case of false dichotomy. Of course, you're not going to become a sprinter by walking better or walking faster, because those two are completely different mechanics. Agreed there. But you're also not going to just yank an untrained novice off the street, throw him on the track and say, sprint as fast as possible. And then look at the mechanics you're using to sprint now. It doesn't matter that they're sloppy as hell. Don't worry about that. These are the mechanics you're going to sprint with from now on. Just work on pushing yourself and run as fast as possible, and then in 5 years you're going to 100-meter Olympics. Of course, I exaggerated my example on purpose. There are all kinds of logical flaws in there also, but my point is this. Simply saying to people, just push yourself and play as fast as possible and then just clean it up later is completely freaking stupid and irresponsible. It's only going to work for a very, very small percentage of guitar players for whom the speed at which their technique starts to break down is very close to their absolute top speed.
Alright, that obviously made me laugh. I like what he's saying. Good. I have said, you know, if you want to be a world-class sprinter, you can't just walk all the time. You eventually have to go fast. Because, yeah. But I think he and I, we agree with a lot here. So, it's stupid and irresponsible, he says. I don't like the idea of just playing as fast as you can and having it be a complete slop mess, and then work your way down to clean it up. Because how can you clean up something that you have no control over? Again, you have to slow it down anyway to a place you could play it slow, or slow it down to a place you can play it clean, and then work it back up. So either way, you're working something up from a slower speed now, aren't you?
And who are able to hear notes and analyze their emotions at speeds far beyond what their hands can do, so they can actually practice at speeds close to their maximum and refine things in real time that way. But most people are nowhere close to being able to do that. And as someone who actually competes in a sport, I'll tell you this. In powerlifting, the sport I compete in, obviously the goal is to lift as much weight as possible, which is kind of equivalent to a sprinter's goal to sprint as fast as possible. But in order to lift as much weight as possible, first of all, powerlifters don't max out all the time. That's first. Secondly,
right.
they
don't.
slow the movements down sometimes in training to work on their technique. For example, on the back squat, they have tempo variations where you go down for 4 full seconds. You actually count in your head 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi as you go down, and during those 4 seconds, you assess your technique in real time. You focus on your balance, bar path, bracing, and a whole bunch of other factors. But then, of course, you also have sessions where you max out and all that kind of stuff. There's a time and place for maxing out in training when your body's prepared for that, when you know what you're doing and you know what you're looking for. But then there's also time to look under the hood, as it were, and figure out exactly what's going on when your body's performing a motion, whether it's an exercise in powerlifting or a set of motions like playing a scale sequence. Notice, by the way, that powerlifters do not use that misleading, fluffy, and vague language that guitar players use. My powerlifting coach doesn't tell me, do a set of squats where you go down as slow as possible. He says, no, take 4 seconds to come down with the bar, then pause for 1 count, then get back up. Do that with, let's say, 60% of your 1 rep max for 3 sets of 4 reps, and if you've done that and your technique is held up well for the entire workout, that's a success, and your body is now better prepared for maxing out when the time comes. And back to the sprinting stupidity, analogy, another reason why it doesn't work is because it doesn't define what sprinting means, same way nobody defines what slow and fast mean. It only says that walking motions are not the same as sprinting motions, which is true, so I got an idea. Why don't we just take our sprinting motions, figure out exactly what they need to be, slow down as much as you need to, but not any slower than that, to do them right, break the motions down into micro components, learn them without tension, without any sloppy bad habits, nothing like that, and then you just speed up those sprinting motions. Which leads me to the point about slow practice motions allegedly changing at faster tempos. Well, even if we assume that slow and fast mean something specific, which they don't, if you notice that your motions are changing from your slowest speeds to your fastest speeds to your top speeds, do you know what that means? It means that you are probably not using the right motion slowly. A classic
100% disagree. 100% disagree. I am not going to play slowly the same motions I do as I go as fast as possible. That's silly. Absolutely disagree. I was with him for a while there. He won me over, and not with that one. No. No. Maybe he'll justify it somehow, but no.
Example of that is tremolo picking. When most people do tremolo picking slowly, they use their wrist because that's the most natural thing to do. The problem...
It's not the most natural for everybody. It's like you should try to practice sprinting by doing a weird slow motion sprint motion that will look funny. Yeah, exactly. So how can he say he knows that walking and sprinting are two separate things? He uses the great power lifting analogy stuff and then completely blows it. I think he blew it by saying that you should be playing slow with your fast picking motions, and that if they're two different things and you're playing wrong. So if I want to have just say one note ring out for 30 seconds at a time, it needs to be the exact same motions I would be using as sprint, my sprint picking. Anyway.
The problem with this, though, is that the wrist motions are simply too large, and beyond a certain tempo, your arm has to get involved to make the tremolo motions small enough and do them quickly enough. So the problem in this particular case isn't that you're doing slow practice or fast practice, because again, these terms mean nothing. It's the fact that you're spending most of your practice time doing the wrong motions. And by the way, you can take this motion and simply slow it down. That's what all these high-speed camera analysis guys do all the time. So the problem, again, isn't slow versus fast. It's understanding what motions you're supposed to even use, and then slowing down to however slow of a tempo you need to for you specifically, for your specific leg, to do the motions right, and then speed up from there. And then it will never, ever change. But
I strongly advise people do not follow that advice. Do not use the same picking mechanics you do as picking your absolute fastest. You are going to be using larger muscles that are better spent playing as fast as you can, wearing yourself out earlier, putting wear and tear on the elbow joint, which already gets a lot of wear and tear if you do weightlifting, which he does. So you shouldn't, I don't think it's a good idea for him to be using his elbow the same way for everything all the time. I can play far more precisely using the old thumb motion there. I wish I could play it with, play that motion faster for everything, because I'm far more accurate with that. Using just the elbow joint to pick things means I am less accurate, especially at the slower speeds. So no. Not only that, but the way you pick a single note is different than how you're going to be strumming a chord. And depending on a chord progression I'm playing, I might be using this kind of strumming motion, or I might have to revert to the more fast stuff, again, depending on what it is. Well, I was agreeing with him for the most part until he made that statement that you should be slowing down the fast motions to make them slower. 100% disagree with that. 100% disagree.
Whatever you do, stop scapegoating slow practice or fast practice, because they all work if you understand what you're doing. If you like this video and you want more help from me with your guitar playing, check out the link in the description of this video or go to the page on the screen right now. I'm going to show you 5 simple things you can do while you practice to speed up your progress without practicing even a minute longer than you do right now. These are not exercises, licks, or drills or any of that. These are simple mental shifts you can make while you practice to squeeze more results per minute out of whatever practice time you've got. They work for any style, any skill level, and you can use them as soon as tonight to begin seeing faster guitar playing gains as early as tomorrow. To see what it's all about, check out that link, enter your email address, I'll send you the video for free. And speaking of guitar speed, one element of guitar speed many people overlook is two-hand synchronization. And unless your hands are perfectly in sync when you play fast, your fast playing will sound like complete garbage. Doesn't matter how fast you can wiggle the pick or your fingers. If you want that to not happen to you, check out this video right here. I'm going to show you 5 simple two-hand synchronization drills you can use in your next practice session. Watch it next.
Today we're gonna practice
No, we're not. All right, there we go. Joe Lou, hello. Good to see you on. All right, well, that was interesting. So, very disappointed in the ending there. Yeah. Oh well. Okay, let's remove that from my watch later playlist. We're gonna get to the Super Thanks Man. We're gonna do that next. Hang on. Copying and pasting something right now. So I want to read what the question is. Oh, this was a great one. Someone commented on the latest here. Oh no, I shouldn't be showing people's freaking screen names. I'm sorry. Shame on me. Basically, someone made a comment saying, well, this is a positive one. Anyway, somebody commented on the latest clip that I did today where I took a student's lesson and just made it a little promo clip. And what I do often with these clips is because I've had tons of people tell me I look like Geddy Lee. And then I've also had people say how bored I look in some of the shred clips that I've done. So, in order to not have a bored face in these things, I just put Geddy Lee's head over mine. And then somebody today said, Geddy Lee plays bass guitar, not lead. I said, what? I'm shocked. I can't believe it. I had no idea. So yes, the question was, could you do a review of, I don't know if I'm going to pronounce this right, Scott Carstairs' technique from FALLUJAH. So that's what we're going to look up here. Focusing, that's true. That is it. Okay. Oh, what was the username? I want to say the username is A Kiss Shape. I don't know if I'm pronouncing the first word right. Are you still on the stream right now? I want to know if there's a specific video you'd like me to watch. So I'll give this a moment, see if we get a reply here to that. If not, we'll just pick one and go for it. Or maybe watch a few. Louis. Sorry, I'm new. Sorry if someone has already asked. Oh, that's okay. What is the correct way to practice? We know that's slow to fast, but sometimes I feel like that is not the solution. Well, that's a big one. What is the correct way to practice? Perfect practice. That's the correct way. That means that whatever it is you're trying to play, you need to make sure you play it as well as you can. Now, because anyway, this is a tough, how do I answer that? What's your goal? What is it you're trying to work on? What are you trying to improve? It really depends on the goal. I need way more information in order to answer that better. So if you could give some detail about, what is it you want to practice? What is it you want to improve? Then we can have a better discussion there. Because until then, it's like if somebody says, maybe a general statement of, I just want to be better at guitar. Any aspect, there's a lot there. We're talking about technique. We're talking about strumming, hammer-ons, pull-offs, knowing the fretboard layouts, how to dissect chords and put them together and make arpeggios with them, or understanding what different keys are, how to, things like that. So the more specific you can get, the better. So I'm assuming the person who did the super thanks who asked about this is not here, because I haven't received a response as to what video they want me to watch here. Alternate pick, okay. For now, technical difficulties is your goal. well then yes, I would say just working it up slow would be the thing. However, if there's a specific thing within that song you're having trouble with, all right, let's talk about this. So you said that technical difficulties is your goal. How far into it have you gotten? Where are your hangups? What troubles are you coming across? Because it's another thing that's tough about just answering via text is without seeing you play and being able to hear what's going on, that also is an element of uncertainty. So my guess, well, let's see what you have to say. Let me know what troubles you're having with it. Have you been able to successfully play any of it up to speed? Is it specific places that you're stuck? Because that has a lot to do with it too. You look like Wes Borland or a brown-eyed Gary Holt. Which one do you prefer being called? Yeah, do you want to play like Yngwie or Malcolm Young? That's a good question too. All right, so no response from, what is his name? Damn it. Where was it? Where'd he go? There you are. A kiss shape. No, I was hoping I could like reply to the comment. I guess not. All right, anyway. Well, let's pick one here. Okay, this is one I started watching. We also have... So I've never done one of these things where I just start talking about someone's technique or whatnot. I guess all I can do is just make some observations of what I see and kind of, I guess, say what I would do to replicate it, maybe. So I guess we'll watch this this playthrough down here. I guess this is the one I saw first I started looking at. And there's another one up here says... Oh, Ebo. Oh, I thought it was Twitch elbow picking. All right, never mind. That's different. All right, we'll start with this guy. Well, sorry to hear you're in the hospital. Is it because you're working or are you actually having to go through something here? Scotty is a tasteful player. Well, that's good because I know nothing about him. All right, so yeah. Very unfamiliar with this guy, so I just watched maybe like 5 seconds of a video, be like, okay, let's see what we can come up with here. Well, okay, I guess we can talk about tap. So obviously he's doing some tapping stuff, a lot of sliding there. I'm wondering, oh, you know what? Is he doing like tap harmonics? Maybe that's why he's doing it like that. Ooh, I bet that's what he's doing. Because at first I was thinking like, that's definitely not how not how I show people how to finger tap. Let's get some reverb and delay going here. I think what he's doing on that is basically he's holding the notes and he's tapping an octave higher and producing a harmonic like that. This is not a thing I practice. Not at all. So, yeah. But that's the technique he's doing right there. So that's something you can practice. You just got to be able to like kind of see what you're doing over here on with your fretting hand and then with your tapping hand. But you can like practice, you know, maybe like a scale this way. So yeah, that's what's going on there. Just tap 12 frets higher. Tap like right over the fret itself. And it's got to be really fast. It's like when you watch him play, his wrist's kind of cocked back like this, and then bam, bam, bam. So it's like it's really quick Just hit that string on there. If you do it too slow, you might get like a dead note like that. Triad says, for me the big hurdle is that it seems all progress gets wiped clean the next day. Is it all of it, or does it just feel that way? I guess it depends on what you work. Are you working on the same thing every single time, or is it like a bunch of different stuff? Because let's see, if it's something new, it clearly retains as the days go by. But some patterns I've been working on for years now, it just doesn't work because every day I need to work it all the way from the start again. Well, that does suck. I do wonder if you're being too hard on yourself. Because let's put it this way. Like, we'll say maybe like patterns that I've worked up to my maximum potential. I cannot play those patterns at my maximum potential every single day. It's only going to be a percentage of it. Like, back to the whole powerlifting analogy. Like, you're not going to be doing 1 rep maxes every day. You can't. It's not physically possible. So you have, like, you know, times when you can hit your 1 rep max on something, but then other times you're just doing like a percentage of it. And there's going to be days when we are feeling fantastic and we can do a bit better, and other days that are just garbage. And then we're just like, this sucks, right? So if you are thinking like, damn it, I played this thing at 200 beats per minute, and then I played this thing at 200 beats per minute, and this thing at 200 beats per minute, how come I can only do it at 170 today? It's because you can't be 100% with everything 100% of the time. I am not at my best all the time. I don't practice anywhere near enough to be that. When things with business change and I have more time, I do want to practice more. And of course, there's going to be lots of that, you know, live streamed. One of the things I want to do, when I'm able to make enough doing, you know, like Patreon and live stream stuff, whatnot, is teach myself, basically go through what I would give a student to learn how to play the guitar with the opposite hands. Anyway, yeah, so just can't be 100% with everything all the time. Even like songs of mine that I've written, if I haven't played it in a long time and I try to do it again, it might be an absolute train wreck on the really difficult stuff. That's because I didn't touch it. So, yeah, it sounds like, yeah, maybe you are just being a little too hard on yourself, because we can't maintain everything forever. We can only focus on so much. Let's go to the next part of the video. Oh, what's that? Should I be using my 7-string for this? Well, as far as like technique wise, what I'm seeing here when he starts picking fast is something I do have. I mean, okay, he can play it, so I can't say anything bad about what he's doing. I'm just speaking from the experience of trying to help people get things to sound better and play well. He does like what a lot of people end up doing is he like looks like he bent his thumb down a little bit like this. So I know some people do it because they feel like the pick can kind of like glide across the string easier. But one issue I find with the thumb bending down like this is then they start doing downstrokes by extending their thumb like this, which involves the pick going down towards the neck, and then your upstroke would involve the pick coming up towards you this way, so picking down like that and then up this way. But when you use your wrist, you pick down towards the bridge and then up towards the neck. So the bent thumb thing like this, I usually don't like seeing it. I mean, if you can make it work for you, I can't argue against it. But for like students, I try and get them to not do that. When I start seeing like thumb movement in such a way that, well, it prevents them from playing what they want to play. I mean, that's the reason why I'm against a lot of people using it, because it's led to a lot of problems and synchronization stuff with people that I've worked with directly. But obviously he can do it. But yeah, it seems like when he starts picking faster, he will bend his thumb down a little bit, which, again, I don't know if he does it because the pick slides across the string easier, or if that's like some people, they feel like when they make more of a fist or go into that motion, they're able to engage the faster picking muscles a bit more. Do I like the playing of Brandon Ellis? I don't know, because I don't listen to Brandon Ellis. Sorry. But we can check something out. If there's something you want us to look at during the stream, we can do that. See like how his thumb kind of bends down a little bit there? That's kind of what I'm talking about. And again, it works well for some people. So, but hey, we're just talking about what I'm observing here, because I've never done one of these technique evaluation things. Does a really good job about keeping things muted. In fact, you watch his left hand, he's doing a lot of stuff, like where he's putting his index finger across strings to make sure you don't have excess string noise bleeding through. And on a 7 string, that's very difficult to keep clean versus a 6 string. So yeah, watch his left hand when he's playing stuff. He really does a great job of keeping unwanted noise from coming through. So right there, now that he's strumming the chords, he's doing that thing where, still don't remember the name of the guy I got this from, but like if your hand is wet and you're shaking off the water, he's doing that now. So he's kind of like, he's turned his wrist a little bit like this. So when he's strumming, it's kind of like you're moving your arm this way. It's like kind of rotating your arm a bit. So this way, nice flowy motion to the strumming. That's what I do on a lot of chord strumming stuff. That's what a lot of guitar players do when they're just strumming chords. So just strumming like that, really nice and helpful for good, rhythmically accurate, flowy stuff. Versus what some people unfortunately do, they'll still like, you know, kind of back to that last video, they'll pick like this, because yeah, you can pick faster like that versus this. I can't pick as fast doing this motion, but I'm certainly not going to wear myself out by being all stiff and clunky picking like this instead of this. This is a much better way for strumming, I feel. It takes less energy. It's not as exhausting. This is silly. Don't strum it like that. Strum it like this. It's a much better thing. Do what Scott is doing. That's the way to strum those kinds of chords at those speeds. Other thing, again, that left hand. Look at how his index finger is laying across all the strings. He's muting all the unused high-pitched strings. This is very important, very necessary when you want your stuff to sound clean. A big mistake people make is they don't have their index finger laying across all these other strings, and then you have all this excess noise bleeding through. So he clearly has fantastic muting technique. Like right there. See, the pinky note, that's what you heard. But look at the rest of his hand. He's keeping everything quiet. Do those things. Zach Wilde looks like that, except he's picking and not strumming. Yet it sounds so clean. I don't comprehend how that's possible. Zach Wilde's his own beast. We'll let Zach Wilde be Zach Wilde. It's kind of like how Marty Friedman picks with his hand like this, like he's always holding water in his hand. Like, I don't know how he can mute anything. Yeah, Zach, yeah. There's always an exception out there, isn't there? There really is. But, that's also why I tell students, like, look, what matters most is, does it sound right? Does it sound the way you want it to sound? If it sounds good to you, you win. You don't need to change anything. If you're getting the results you want, you're set. You don't have to. And that's one of the things where I'm hesitant. It's like the whole thumb bending down thing. If I see a student doing something like that, or picking with their hand closed, I've seen issues with it with some people. But other people can make it work for them. So I like to give my students a chance to show that they can make it work. When their technique, like maybe the thumb being bent or making a fist, when that gets in the way of what they're trying to do, it's like, okay, we do have to address this and try something else because it's not working anymore. But if you're getting the results you want with the technique you're using, there you go. Nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong at all. If it sounds good, that's all that matters. Blasted on, you weren't kidding. He does play tastefully. It's nice. It's not overly shreddy, trying to show off lead lines. He's clearly putting thought into these notes. Quite nice. So I guess we could talk about the palm mute technique there. So he's definitely doing exactly what I have my students do, or try and get them to do anyway. Like his hand is kind of tilted down like this a bit. So this way, this part of the hand is making contact with the strings right when they're about to connect into the bridge. So that's got to give you that nice beefy sound, which also prevents you from playing like that guy earlier saying like, oh, well, when you're playing your fastest, or the motions you use when you're playing your fastest should also be the same as you're going slow. Well, how the hell does he do chunky palm mutes then? Because you can't play by using just nothing but elbow and keeping your hand in this position. You can't. You do need different mechanics for different things that you play. Period. Do not make the same motions slowly as you do when you are playing your fastest. That's silly. Silly. Continuing. On that a little bit. He said it's very vocal. I thought it's very cool at first. Yeah, it's vocal. Yeah, it's one thing I tell my students when they're trying to work on improvisation. It's like, it's good to put a bunch of space in between the notes, because if it's something you can like sing along to or hum, it's going to be catchy. So he's doing something with like the finger tapping. Felt like it could be worth pointing out. Yeah, it's like right there. So one thing I tell my students is, you know, when we work on finger tapping and you're learning that stuff, practice tapping while holding your pick. So it looks like he's doing something like, you know, he's doing picking once. He's over here. I'll do this in a place I'm more familiar. He's doing something like he'll pick, do like some hammer-on pull-offs. Stuff like that. This is very unrehearsed. Isn't that obvious? But yeah, he's doing something like that where he'll like pick, do some hammer-on pull-offs, throw in your tap. Maybe pick to get to that next string. Stuff like that. Yeah, so practicing your tapping while still holding your pick allows you the chance to do things like that. I know Van Halen, obviously the guy who popularized it, and I think he held his pick like this, but he's always having to eliminate the use of the pick to do all this stuff, and then go back to holding the pick. Whereas if you practice holding the pick, you can do things like that. And I know he can do this. I mean, obviously, he's already shown he can do the shreddy stuff very well. Good old sweep into the tap. And That's always fun to do, if you can. All right. Almost to the end of the video. I didn't realize there were vocals. Very unique chords for metal. That's good to hear. All right. Well, to the person who requested I do that, I hope that was sufficient and that's what you were looking for. But if you have a specific video you'd like me to watch and talk about, or anything like more detailed you'd like to know, please tell me. Yeah, I feel like you got what you were looking for there. Okay, it's that time. Bathroom time. So when I get back, we're going to take a look at this Kirk Hammett question and then an evil scale. So be right back. All right, time to head into my work email. I hope I don't see anything I don't want to see. All right, let's turn this off. Okay, where are you at? So there's no attachments other than this one. Alright, so basically this question are, I'll read the most important stuff to this. Here, okay. Wait a minute. 2 minutes and 43 seconds in. This is only 49 seconds. Or is it the top one? Oh, 4 seconds in. Wait, what? Oh, alright, I understand. I didn't read everything well enough. You're welcome. Good Lord. Okay, let's turn that down. And if I was receiving any monetization, which would have been pennies, it's gone now, for sure. Well, maybe the last song got it taken away. Definitely going to be taken away now. Lars is going to be pissed. Maybe not. I think he's better about that whole thing now. Alright, so 243. This is, he wants to know what picking pattern he's doing here. Oh, good old Kirk Hammett. And apparently the tab he sent over was correct. Oh, he's doing something like that. Alright, so let's go down to half speed. So the tab that I have for this, hold on, I'm not trying to show anyone the guy's email address. The Whammett scale. The just be throw a bunch of whatever together. Okay, so starting with that note there. Somebody's gonna go down there. I don't have a full tab here. Alright, let's take another look. Wherever else he goes, I don't know. Well, that's the picking pattern, I believe. He's doing something like that. So we got pick, 2 picks, and you're just like. Sloppy as Kirk, did I do that right? Pick, pull off, and he's like sliding down, but he's just picking the note, so pick, pull off, pick, pull off, pick, pull off, pick, pull off, pick, pull off. That's what it seems like to me. There's more to look at though. Very good follow along lesson, bar 5. Alright, well, let's see what we got here. Oh, he does it slow, I'm assuming. 50% speed. How nice. Good. Let's bring that up. Oh, he's doing it like that, huh? Is he doing that? Huh. Changes the key at that point? Of course he does. Hell, is Kirk really doing all that? Yeah, he is doing that. Fucking A. Yep. So, to answer your question, person who asked about it, yes, the way the person is demonstrating it in the slow or the play along lesson, that's how Kirk is doing it. Follow what that guy is doing, and you are good. The inlays. Oh, the skull and crossbones. Pretty damn metal. Or these is, oh yeah, the ladies. Those inlays, yes. I would not want those on my guitars. I feel ridiculous. But hey, whatever. So, as far as like the note choices right there, like, yeah, that'll, I mean, well, let's see. Yeah, the 21st fret, the one you circled there, yeah, he's definitely playing that. And then this thing. Yeah, Kirk's definitely doing that because he's just moving the same pattern up. So yes, that is out of key, and Kirk is absolutely playing that. So the 2 question circled notes, yes. The way the guy demonstrates it in the video, yes. Play it his way, because that's what Kirk is doing for sure. And I would say that the person demonstrating it in that video lesson is doing a better job than Kirk. As many people would. Anyway, enough Kirk bashing. Alright, the other one was... Damn it. I'll go back. Yeah, the women. What is this crap? Yeah. Alright, what was the other one? Here we go. Wants to know, wondered what I would have to say about this one. Alright. And I believe we are all caught up with the requests after this. And then we can... we might have time for one other thing. Well, let's see. So, I didn't watch much of it. Just kind of the start. The opening part of technical difficulties has always been challenging for me. It's the switching between the strings in that way. Well, that's just, yeah, that's a pain in the butt for anybody. Oh, we never did get more details on the stuff earlier from Mr. Hernandez. Oh well, maybe he got the answer that he wanted and that was the end of it. I don't know what it is. Is that it? I don't remember what the heck that other part is. Hello, Daniel. Good to see you on. KJ has a similar pattern. Same with Lamb of God inlaid. Same with Lamb of God inlaid to rest. I don't know if I know laid to rest. Probably would if I heard it. Where did my brain go? Hey, let's get to this. So yeah, this small channel, 854 subscribers so far. Perhaps this will help them get a few more. I don't know. I know what it's like to start out. And I still got small ass numbers myself. Law of the Riff is the name of the channel. And the riff is king. The riff is king. So how to sound evil. Simple scale. Let's see.
Lords, welcome to another video. Today I want to show you a simple scale or shape to sound instant evil on guitar. Let's go. So first of all we need only the E, A and D string and all of our 4 fingers on the left hand, and it goes like this: D string to the 1, the 3rd fret on the A string, 3 to 2, and your pinky on the 4th fret at the E string to the 3rd fret on the E string. So slowly it sounds like this. And of course 1 to 0, this always works. So the shape is the following. Just move it around.
going on here. 'Tis a fine metal shape. So let's see. Let's bring up our notes. We're going to take some notes on screen. So, the notes going from the bottom up to the top, because that makes a lot more sense to my brain. We're going E, F, G, G sharp, B, C, D sharp, and then back to E. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Am I counting this right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 notes. Alright, so if that's the case, I'm going to change this G sharp to an A flat. What do we have here? I feel like I should, well, let's see. Let's start listing interval numbers underneath this. So I'll say E is the 1. We got F is your flat 2. G is your flat 3rd. Try and space this stuff out well enough so we get the intervals lined up right under it. So 1, flat 2, flat 3. He might be German. I don't know. A flat, that would be, in this case, a flat 4. So far we got the makings of super Locrian. But no, because we don't have a flat 5. How interesting. Because we got a perfect 5th. B is the 5. Whoa! I guess that's good enough. Yeah, that looks okay. Alright, so then the C is a flat 6. And then D sharp would be natural 7. The hell mode is that? Anyone know? Daniel, you're in the jazz world. You know a lot of obscure modes, right? Maybe this could be like some kind of almost like a Phrygian thing, because it has the 1 flat 2, flat 3, and a flat 6, all characteristics of Phrygian. Natural 7 is not. That's basically the shape right there. The major 3rd and the flat 4 are the same. I just want to make sure all 7 intervals are accounted for, because since we have 7 notes, I know we can do things like that. What the hell? Yeah, if the flat 5 was there, it would change things. It'd be like super Locrian natural 7 or a super Locrian major 7. I don't know. Is there a website you can input mode name or like interval numbers? There's gotta be. So, as I know, like, I don't know, mode generator music? What was it? Music modes calculator. See all the... I don't care about the major scale modes. Scale calculator. Alright, well, let's see. Oh, that just... We can't input our own? No, never mind. Mode generator spreadsheet on Reddit. Oh. No, that doesn't help either. I have... I'm not sure where my guitar group is. It down there? I wonder if I could actually find something like this in the guitar room more. I'm just curious if it has a specific name. Because that's the scale right there. It's basically Phrygian with a flat 4 and a major 7th interval. God, there's so many things to go through here. You know what? We're not gonna... No. Maybe he'll tell us what the name is. I'm just thinking it's gonna be one dull part of the stream if I'm gonna sit here and just flip through page after page after page. So if anyone knows what mode this is, please let us know. So many commercials today. Uh-oh. Wonder if I'm gonna see any money from that. Probably not. Are there any good commercials? I don't know what you guys see. Here, I'll hit delay ads. I just saw that's an option. There we go. Delayed ads. Dude, I don't make shit. I'll show you what I make. Right there. My estimated revenue for the past 28 days, $22.40. There you go. That's it. I make very little in YouTube revenue stuff. Very little. Pennies. Pennies. Literally. Small potatoes. Anyway, let's continue on here. So yeah, anyone knows the mode who watches the archive stream, hey, let us know. Would be much appreciated. Let's continue watching his video.
So for example, you can use this for some death metal. Remember, always go back to the 1-0 T and you can never go wrong. Or you do something like Slayer-ish. You can also implement some power chords with this shape to create, for example, an intro. Let's say. So let's change to a lower tuning. I'll be back in a second. Now we are in standard beat tuning with this beautiful Solar at the Gates model. Fishman, modern fluent by the way. And I will show you the context in the death metal style, so it works better if you tune low. So let's check this out. This shape makes you sound evil. 1, 0. Alright, I hope it helps somebody. Grab your guitar, have some fun, move this shape around, and always remember 1 to 0, it's never a bad thing. So see you in the next one. Take care of yourself. Peace.
Fantastic. Fine scale, sure. I have to get to where it's 1,000 a month. Fuck, I love that, man. If I was making 1,000 a month through just YouTube, that would be lovely. At least with Patreon, it's on average a little over 300 a month, so that's good. I need to get to those birth figures, though. He'd be making... That dude makes an insane amount. If I'm making $1,000 in YouTube revenue a month, I think I'm doing pretty damn good, because that means Patreon will definitely be way bigger. If I have that kind of reach, students will definitely have all filled up. I can certainly afford to do other things. For the 7 for the little scale there. Okay. Well, we don't have too much time left, but I don't know. I guess we can extend it here. Let's close this out. Am I missing anything? I remember that. Here, let me cancel that and take this off the screen now. There. Let's see, all quiet on Facebook and Twitch, like usual. I've got more followers on Twitch. No comments though. Anyway, the last time I actually got comments on Twitch, some guy just wanted me to watch his video. Add more cameras, skits, etc. You know, I'm a ways off from doing anything like that. I do not have the time. Only so much I can do with that stuff. I was upping the quality and doing more fancy stuff. Multi-streaming, yes. It's like I started doing that again, like, I don't know, 2 weeks ago? 2 or 3 weeks ago? Tried doing it on Instagram at the same time because the platform I use, you can stream desktop on Instagram, but it didn't show the full thing. It's just like a small square of the camera there, so you couldn't see everything that's being discussed during the stream anyway. So I was like, yeah. You didn't get the notification for Twitch. Interesting. Yeah, at least it shows that it's on right now. I see that it's on looking over there. fact, no, where'd that go? No, I don't have that stock. All right, whatever. I guess we can do at least one more video here. You described the rift as a scale, but it was also resolving. So the last two notes isn't necessarily in it. Well, the E's definitely in it. Because the F would not be there, because he starts with the E. Okay, watch later. Let's see if there's a short one we can check out. And let's switch over to here. So, if anyone sees a title, I guess we'll try and keep it somewhat short here. Title of a video we should check out next. Call it out. Oh yeah, there's tons of birth lines. You know, I'm going to remove this Metal Licks one because really nothing to discuss there. Just a lot of crazy stuff that would just involve me practicing. No discussions happening there. Oh man, there's stuff here that would be just great for to start the stream with. I don't know about ending it with. I'm looking for a short one. Beginner guitar lesson starter pack. I don't know. Maybe we're not going to watch another video. Yeah, I think we might just start calling it a day for this stuff. Okay, we'll do this one. We'll end with beginner guitarists all do this. Now, I remember watching one of this guy's videos before. Did not care for what was being taught. I don't remember what the heck the video was. But, yes, far bigger channel than me. By far. So this will be the last last video we're going to watch, talk about beginner guitarists all do this. That's one of the, I've seen like more of those damn videos come up. Hey, class that on over on Twitch. The follow got deleted. I wonder why. Do you think it got deleted because I was inactive for so long? The streaming platform for which is the best for creatives is Kick. You have 95.5 splits. If you get a lot of views there, thank you for that. I will look into that. Kick streaming. Okay. Thank you. I will absolutely look into building that too. Because, yeah, I can stream to all kinds. I can add another platform to stream to at the same time. I'm surprised, like Facebook has got nothing. Like every now and then I'll see like one person over there. Oh well, whatever. All right, here we go. Final video. So any questions pertaining to anything, get them in. Quick, get them in. Here we go.
So as we all know, being new to a hobby is very embarrassing. So I asked you guys on Instagram, follow me, and YouTube, what are some ways that you can immediately spot a new guitarist? Having guitar picks with them everywhere they go, even to places there's no guitars. You want to be...
Plavis? Hey, I always have a guitar pick in my wallet. Because you never know when you're going to have a guitar to play. I'm new to guitar, by the way. Did you know that?
Be prepared. Strumming with the entire arm / only up strumming.
Well, that's a weird one. Only up strumming? Usually mostly all down strokes. Who does just all up strokes? Interesting. Have I come across... I don't remember if I come across that. Have any of you come across that? Seeing people just doing upstrokes? Odd. My back has just about had it sitting here too.
What do you mean? Saying something like, I know this one, let me try, then messing up immediately. To be fair, that's also just like stage fright, you know, where you practice something a million times in your room and can nail it, and then once you have an audience of one, you're like, what if I suck? And then you do. Fretboards.
So obviously this is I wonder. This is a very clickbaity title. He's just sitting here reading people's responses to the question of what or something that beginner guitar player, or how do you know someone's a beginner guitar player? Fretboard stickers. Guess what? Those inlays, those are stickers. I put them on here to be prepared for making the that rhythm crash course I made. This way people could follow the frets better when I'm playing. I know what this person's talking about though. Yeah, some people will put like the notes or fret numbers on the guitar. You did it? You did just the all upstroke thing? Interesting. It's like the group. Do you remember why you did all upstrokes at the beginning? Did it just feel natural? As an exercise? Yes, okay. Well, so just as an exercise, but not like a natural thing. I don't know, I guess I just got the impression like, not for an exercise, but that's just what they naturally do. A beginner guitarist naturally just does upstrokes for everything.
Stickers. I've never actually seen someone with them in real life. Can't tell their guitar is out of tune.
There's a lot of people who are not beginners who still can't tell their guitar is out of tune. Paul Gilbert did all ups at first too. I did not know that. Did not know that. Well, goddamn. Look, I'm learning things today.
It happens. Just don't post it on YouTube. You'll get bullied. Acoustic guitar, backwards hat, capo, beard. Hey, saying capo wrong. Transposing everything to play with a capo and avoid bar chords. Yeah, on Ultimate Guitar, when they have like 6 versions, and one sounds way less like the song, but it doesn't have bar chords, so you learn that one. Inability to play guitar. Usually I think if you've been playing like over a month consistently, you can play something. Taking an hour to switch between chords. It's kind of a blink and you'll miss it one when someone just stops completely for 10 minutes. If they hold the guitar awkwardly. Sometimes you can just tell that someone isn't that used to having bodies on their laps. Not like Santa. Santa would be used to it. When they bring a guitar to a place that will have at least 4 people, but no one asked.
Guilty. I would bring my guitar all over the damn place. I used to walk around outside with that 1 watt 9-volt battery powered portable Marshall amp. Just have it on my pants or whatever, and just play stuff wherever. Play Iron Maiden, whatever. I think I even went into Walmart with my friend Chuck one time doing that. Shame on me for doing so. God, if I heard somebody doing that nowadays, I'd be so pissed. Be like, you rude little shit, shut up. No one wants to hear that. So I am very guilty of doing things back when I was younger that pissed me off left and right now. But were they stickers? Are the numbers actually stickers, though? Stickers are the offensive things. No, I guess. yes, I was, yeah, I feel bad about it now. But I did take it to school all the time. I think I was a bit different, though, because, you know, I'd be practicing and playing off on the side or whatever, but... Yeah, I've definitely brought it places that, you know, small groups or whatever. But then again, I also ended up having musician friends, and we would play stuff together sometimes. Did I? How often did that really happen? Yeah, with some friends, yeah, we both play guitar. Usually band practice stuff, though, or people I was band members with, but anyway. Anyway, yep, I'm guilty of this one.
Oops. When they ask how you should hold a pick, I mean, that's probably someone who's been playing guitar less than a day. Or maybe that's someone who's used to playing fingerstyle. So who knows? Oh, so you play guitar? Do you play acoustic or electric?
Is that a bad question?
Because, you know, you're like, I have an acoustic, what do you play? They try learning songs that are way too difficult just to be able to say they've played it. I think kind of similar to the last question, when you're new, you're kind of like, what's the hardest thing you can play? Because it's important. So you look up how to play Neon by John Mayer, and you're like, well, I could sort of do it. It's pretty hard, but strumming too hard. Yeah, you know how those beginner guitarists are in Boston? That glimmer of hope in their eyes. Yeah, I remember those days. Nails. Just the short and long nails. I used to think that to play guitar, you had to have really long nails to fingerpick. But turns out you don't. You can just have medium nails, if you want. How many of these are playing Wonderwall at the function? A lot. But, in everyone's defense, they are right. Not pressing the fret with enough force. I mean, you could tell pretty much right away because the sound will be terrible. Like the new car smell. A new guitar smells of mahogany and rosewood, plus deodorant. Old guitarists forget to shower for days and have the old stink string smell. Yep, I think that's a good place to end it. Bye, and thanks for watching. You know?
Alright, well, there we go. That's the end of the stream. Yeah, look at the thumbnail. Look at the thumbnail. Stop this. It had nothing... I fucking hate clickbait stuff. Man, I hate the clickbait. Do you have the string stink smell? No. No, you do not. Do I? Oh, God. Alright. Well, there you go. Interesting first video we watched. Seemed like we were going to... He and I were going to agree on stuff, and then he went and ruined it by saying practice... Use the same super fast motions, but just slow them down for playing slower things. We looked at that Scott's technique, talked a little bit about what I saw. Hopefully that was what the guy was looking for, who asked about it. Looked at the picking pattern of Kirk Hammett lick. Confirmed that yes, he is playing out of key on 2 notes. And watched a clickbait video answering tweets, or replying to tweets about what beginner guitar players do. And learned about Kick, another streaming platform. Thank you, Plastodon. Alright, time to end it. As always, thank you for watching, for participating in the chats, watching the archive stream, all that good stuff. And there we go. Alright. And oh yes, and we watched the evil scale. I don't know, it just feels weird saying it sounds evil. It's a good use of notes to make some metal-y riffs, for sure. Absolutely was. Alright. See you next week. This stream is done.